Okay, Abhimanyu, welcome to BizAsia. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so
It's
much for
lovely to
having
have you. It's lovely to have you. I know this is our first interview, and I'm really happy to be talking to you after you've made your digital debut. But I just want to start by saying congratulations on all the awards that Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota got. I know it was a festival film, eventually got a Netflix release. How do you feel that, like, your debut film got so much success?
it was wonderful to experience that, especially when we traveled across the world and got to meet directors, producers, actors from all over the world who we have whose work we've cherished for years and who we have uh, fanboyed over. Those people watched my first movie, and that was just um, I mean, it was surreal. I can't put it into words, the kind of uh, the emotions that were inside when you imagine one of your heroes watching your film and praising it. It was surreal, to say the least.
Did you feel a little bit different? Obviously, it was, like I said, it was started off as a festival film, so it
Yeah.
got a different kind of recognition in a way. Did you feel a little bit kind of humbled in a way because it reached the festivals and it was kind of approved, if you like, by the festival audiences first?
Yeah, absolutely. Humbled and encouraged at the same time. The whole team, Vasan sir's whole team, every department put in so much work into it, and I could see the passion when everyone worked towards it, and their inclination and their honesty actually showed, and it made us shine. So I was just happy that they were being recognized for the amount of effort they've put in, and since then they've been able to go on and sign multiple big, films, and I'm really proud of them, and I'm happy for how well they're doing. But yeah, like you said, having people from the industry in the world acknowledge the effort that you have put in, uh, means a lot, because they know what they're talking about. They know it because they've actually done it themselves. They've gone through the experience, they've achieved a certain recognition all over the world. That's why they're in the jury, and they decided to give us the baton to carry on making the films that we do. So that felt good.
Absolutely, I can totally understand that. I think one of my colleagues at BizAsia saw it at the Toronto Film Festival, and she could not stop raving about it. So
How
it was
tell
it
her,
was
tell her,
something I
tell her thank you for coming out and watching it. That was one of the, that was probably the best screening that we've ever had. There was like a line crossing two blocks outside the theater when we reached over there. People were waiting to get in, and I honestly didn't believe it was my film that was being showed over there. I thought I knew some big star or some rock star had come over there, and that's the crowd for that.
Nothing short of a rock star, I think. Just to mention, you've made your digital debut in the last few days with Meenakshi Sundareshwar, and
Yes,
I've
ma'am.
watched it and I absolutely loved it. It was great. It was such a great film, and I loved your kind of interaction with Sanya Malhotra in that. I think you both are perfect for those roles.
Thank you.
Did you think that your digital debut would come this early?
I mean, technically, because of the pandemic, it's already been delayed. So yeah, I expected a digital debut probably in the year 2020 itself. But if you put it into perspective in that way, it's not early. It's about time.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think with the pandemic, it's kind of changed the state of play, so to speak.
Correct.
The character that you play in the film is quite rooted in a small town. How did you feel approaching such a character?
Um, so usually in the last few years, if you've seen the kind of films that are coming out of the Indian film industry, where the small town protagonist is always showed, kind of agitated and kind of, you know, really quick uh, and fast paced when they're having conversations. I wanted to break that norm and just slow it down, because it's a boy from a small town. His thought process would be slower, his interaction would be slower, it would be more calm, composed. not like the fast-paced life of the metropolitan cities. So that was one of the first things that I wanted to put into this character. And our director Vivek had a very intricate, vivid vision of how he wanted the character to be, and doing a lot of workshops and readings with him, we kind of outlined the character sketch that we wanted Sundar to play, and took it from there. One of the inspirations or reference points would be Amol Palekar sir's Choti Si Baat, Basu Chatterjee, Rishikesh Mukherjee, those kind of films with a lot of flavor, a lot of understanding of in-depth emotions and layers of the simple common man.
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see that. I think on social media as well, when I've seen the reception the film has had, I know it's been you've kind of come out as a romantic hero, so to speak, in that character. And I think many people are comparing you to Madhavan in Rehna Hai Tere Dil Mein. How do you feel about that?
So, I mean, that was one of our reference points when we were thinking about the emotion that Madhavan sir invoked in us when we were growing up, and he was such a fantabulous actor and a great person as well. So when the audience kind of catches those references and then compares you to an actor like Madhavan, it's just amazing. It's brilliant feedback. I'm humbled to be in the same sentence as Madhavan sir, because let's be honest, we're fanboys.
Absolutely, totally get that. Were there any other reference points where kind of like in the 90s, so to speak, did you have any reference points apart from that in the 90s where, like kind of the audience now might kind of understand it a bit more, so to speak, the character that you played?
I mean, the reference points that we usually develop is not, I mean, the audience point of view is not taken into consideration. Will they get it? Will they not get it? It's honestly being true to the character. The intent, the purpose of creating a reference or a character has to be honest to the script, honest to the situation and context. And whatever fits the bill there, I think people connect to it, whether they've seen it in the past or not. And that's what happened with this. I don't. Maybe the new generation hasn't seen RHTDM, but all of us have, and it was a brilliant movie. And maybe some of the youngsters will go back to the movie and watch what we enjoyed back in the day.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've also heard that you had a few marriage proposals following the film's release.
I've been told that. My mom was pretty happy to hear that, and Sanya hasn't shared them yet, but I believe Sanya got a few marriage proposals in her DMs. I think I'm going to meet her tomorrow, and she's going to share them with me, and then I guess we'll take it from there.
Did you expect this character to have that much of an effect?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Even when I watched the film before the release, I came home and my family was like, "What happened? Tell us, how was it?" And I was like, "Yeah, you'll be happy by the end of it. When you watch the film, you leave happy." That was my take from that, because we are so close to the subject, and we've performed these characters and these emotions. We to be honest, we can't judge what we're looking at, but yeah, it's heartwarming. It is something that an actor looks forward to. The adulation and the love that we receive from all over the world, and I'm so happy that I'm actually happy for the whole team, because if it wasn't for the hair and makeup, if it wasn't for the costumes, if it wasn't for the lighting and the DOP, if it wasn't for the lines written by Arsh, you wouldn't get the Sundar that I could deliver. It was a package deal, and it was teamwork from all those individuals. So the love that I've been getting, I hope it trickles down to them, and thank you for doing that.
That's nice. I can totally understand that, you know, the kind of impact such a character has does have a whole team behind it.
Yeah.
I have to ask you actually, from your first film to now this film, you've kind of in a way broken a mold, in a way, but do you have kind of a way that you want your career to go? Do you want to do more small town type stories, or do you want to take on maybe a masala film, for example?
I have two masala films coming early next year, but no, those long-term decisions aren't made of how I want the trajectory of my career to go. These decisions are more taken by the gut, and as and when they come to you, you know, you get the right film, you get the right team supporting a film, and you connect to the character, and you go ahead and do what makes you happy. You know, don't overthink. Just roll the dice and hope it's right.
Absolutely. So you've mentioned the two films that you have upcoming, which I understand are Nikamma and Aankh Micholi.
Yes,
How do you think the audiences will take to those films after the two films you've just done?
I have no expectations. I am curious how the audience is going to perceive this, because like you said, breaking the mold is part of uh, is a huge part of my decision making process. And every time you put me in a festival film bracket, and I'll give you Meenakshi Sundareshwar. You put me in the romantic bracket, and I'll give you Nikamma. You put me in the commercial entertainer film, and I'll give you Aankh Micholi, which is a laugh riot. Uh, so that's the deal, you know. I want to explore. I want to challenge myself as an actor and play different characters, do different genres. And at the back of my mind, if I would enjoy watching the film, I would like to be a part of it. So it comes down to that, and just like I said, enjoying your day-to-day livelihood. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. Just gearing away slightly from your actual films, I wanted to ask, what have you been watching lately?
In the last 2 weeks, I hadn't had the time to watch anything, to be honest. Before that, I had some reruns of Sopranos, which was on for me. I'm an anime fan, so I was watching the latest season of My Hero Academia before that. And a couple of my friends released some films, so I was watching those. I watched Abhishek Banerjee and Taapsee Pannu's and Priyanshu's Rashmi Rocket earlier. And there are a lot of films that I'm looking forward to now. And the theaters have opened, so I can't wait to go back and watch some. Maybe next in line would be Dune.
Absolutely. And you're right, the theatres have opened back in India, so that this is a really big deal, obviously, for the audiences as well. And hopefully, fingers crossed, they will remain open now and they won't close again. Fingers crossed. Abhimanyu, I just want to ask you a final question. Apart from Aankh Micholi and Nikamma, do you have anything that you can talk about coming up? Or is it a secret?
I have 2 films in the next 6 months coming out. What more else do you want me to talk about? This takes up my whole life already. And I got to balance my work and my rest of my life as well. So we're taking it slow, one step at a time, and just looking forward to Nikamma right now first, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely, we definitely look forward to that. And thank you so much for joining us today. It's been lovely talking to you, and I look forward to whatever you have coming next.
Thank you so much. Wonderful talking to you as well.